Good morning, my beautiful diamonds. It's the first day of spring. And let's set this spring off great. I was looking at a clip this morning from the rich auntie, and she was making some very valid points. Let me share this with you, and then we'll come back and we will discuss it because I'm definitely interested in your viewpoint and your take on this situation. Okay, here we go.
Fine. Who gives a fuck if grandma was married 30, 40, 50 years, if she was miserable for most of those years? People are saying, why don't marriages last like they used to? Because women are able to take care of themselves. Our grandmothers would have left if they were in better positions than they were. Those men were beating their asses. Those men were cheating on them. Those men had second and third families out there, and the women had to put up with that shit. They were encouraged by their parents to stay. They were encouraged by their church to stay. Who gives a fuck if you was married 40 years, but your ass was crying for 35 of them? You were being disrespected for all of those years. That shit ain't worth it. That shit is not worth it. And I'm starting to see a trend on TikTok where a lot of the older women are speaking out about their experiences when they were married, how they wish they would have left. I even see some healthcare workers that work in these nursing homes, these assisted living facilities, and a lot of these older women are filled with regret. They feel like they wasted most of their lives staying with the man that did not respect them, just so that they could say they were married 30, 40, and 50 years. That shit is not worth it. I would not stay with a motherfucker for decades just to say I clocked time with him. Who the fuck does that? That's that old time shit. And a lot of people now today, oh, women don't stick around. Women don't do this. Women are not keeping their families together. Man, those women back in the day would have left too. They would have left. They were being mistreated. They were being beaten. They were being cheated on. And that shit was expected and it was accepted. Women not putting up with that shit nowadays. Nobody's going to sit around no motherfucking man all them years just to say they was with a man. No, hell no. Fuck that. That shit ain't worth it. That shit is not worth it. And all men back then were not like that, but most of their ass were. Only thing they did was pay the motherfucking bills, but that woman was miserable as fuck. Who gives a fuck if grandma was married 30, 40, 50 years, if she was miserable for most of those years?
She had some very, very valid points here, wouldn't you say? You know, when I was listening to this, it put me in the mind of what Isaiah chapter 4, verse 1 says. And here I'm reading it from the easy, EASY version. Make sure you read it from different versions so you could get the full comprehension. It says, in that day, speaking of the last days, 7 women will latch on to one man, and they will hold on to him. They will say, please take away our shame. We will buy our own food, and we will wear our own clothes, but please give us your last name. Please let us belong to you. And then when you read it from the ERV version, it says, at that time, 7 women will grab one man and say, please marry us. They don't care about sharing him with 6 other women. We will supply our own food and make our own clothes. You won't have to do anything else if you let us wear your last name and take away our shame. Is that not Bible prophecy being fulfilled? Also, when you think about the type of women that men will be seeking out, it says it very clearly at 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 6, where it says, the Bible warns us about a specific tactic that the enemy is going to use in the last days. And it says, for among them, men will worm their way into the homes and seek out weak-minded and gullible women who are burdened with sins and led astray by various passions. Now, from the Easy Read version, It says some of them, speaking of men, they go into homes and get control over weak-minded and gullible women whose lives are full of sin, women who are led into sin by all the things they want. These women always want to learn something new, but they are never able to fully understand the truth. The truth is the way he's treating you. But, this is just showing me that we should not be surprised. Now, when it says that they'll be seeking out idle, weak-minded, and gullible women, these are women without a strong spiritual foundation. They're lacking discernment, and they lack spiritual maturity. When it says burdened with sins, these are women who are carrying the weight of unresolved guilt and shame. They have so many different children, and they're riddled down with guilt because they chose not to follow what the Bible teaches you. So now they have different baby daddies or what have you. And these are women who are controlled by their emotions and their desires rather than the truth. I think we are well aware now that nobody wants to hear the truth anymore. You try to tell these women, the guy, that's not a good man for you. People try to warn them, your parents, your family, your friends, they don't want to hear it. A man is everything. Everything. And like the young lady said, you have a lot of older people on TikTok and on YouTube. They're coming out now with the truth. Oh, yeah. Everything wasn't roses the way we made it seem. Everything that shines is not gold. And they are giving women advice for this generation and this day and age. Don't get married, honey. Don't get married. And then the thing that freaks me out is these men act like they're doing you a favor because he's paying all the bills. Is he doing that for you? Or is he doing that for himself? Because if you left today or tomorrow, is he still going to keep the gas on? Is he going to pay that utility bill to keep that refrigerator running for his food? Yes, he is. Is he still going to pay the rent, the mortgage? Yes, he is. He's not doing that for you. He's getting free labor, free work. Does he pay you? Or when you work, is your money your money? They try to make it like they're doing so much for you. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was listening to SheilaTruelove. She has some pretty interesting ideas. Like I said, I don't agree with everything she says. And I like the Queen Maker and the Sovereign Woman. I don't agree with everything. At the same time, they do make some very valid, good points. And I mean, the truth is the truth. It is what it is. There's no way around it. But let me end again with this beautiful young lady. Like I said, she was making valid points. Go ahead, girlfriend.
It's a fuck if grandma was married 30, 40, 50 years. Miserable for most of those years. People are saying, why don't marriages last like they used to? Because women are able to take care of themselves. Our grandmothers would have left if they were in better positions than they were. Those men were beating their asses. Those men were cheating on them. Those men had second and third families out there, and the women had to put up with that shit. They were encouraged by their parents to stay. They were encouraged by their church to stay. Who gives a fuck if you was married 40 years, but your ass was crying for 35 of them?
I also appreciated the point when she said the church encourages you to stay in these marriages, whether they're abusive or not, whether he's cheating on you, whether he's jeopardizing your life and your health, bringing in all kind of extrally transmitted demons and jeopardizing your life and your health. And then you had your parents, you made your bed, you lay in it, you're married now, you made vows, you gotta stick with your vows, shall by. God didn't ordain none of that. God would never put his daughters with an abusive low life. No. So anyway, this is just some food for thought. And like I said, this is to empower you and to bring awareness. And for all these women that think that, oh, you've been married for 15, 20, 30, 40 years, that's a flex. No, that's not an accomplishment, baby. That just shows that you're stuck on stupid for a long period of time. Other women, we wised up early. Food for thought. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.